So, guys, let's do something really crazy. Let's completely understand assessment procedure, IT authorities, return of income, block assessment, all the chapters in just 1 hour. And not just 1 hour, we'll try to finish in 45 minutes and that too entire English. So, sir, what's your take? Whether we'll be able to do it or not, of course, sir, we will find out in the next 45 minutes. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe to channel. If you are new to channel, do like the video, hype the video, comment down your experiences because I have been uploading multiple different types of contents for your attempt. Now, sir, what the topic is about? See, according to me, there are certain important chapters, there are certain important topics, and there are some non-important topics. This is primarily based on my thinking. Correct? Yes, sir. So, can examiner ask beyond this? Yes, examiner can ask beyond this, but this is according to me beyond which examiner should not go. Got it, sir. How you are going to find this PDF? You are going to find this PDF in the Telegram channel. Just go to Telegram channel. You will find the video and you will find the description. You will find the PDF as well. And how to go to Telegram channel? The link is in the description. That's it, sir. Not to waste much time. First of all, IT authorities. See, I have tried to summarize things. First of all, section 133B. See, this video cannot be referred with, so this PDF cannot be referred without PDF because I have written in very poor handwriting. Very poor handwriting it is. You cannot refer this video without, you cannot refer these notes without PDF. Done, sir. Now, 133B, what is the power? See, understand. IT authority can come to your premises, can come to your business premises for information collection. Here, primary motive is just to collect the information. Now, when can they come? The only thing is they can come during business hours. Remember, during business hours. It might be written in some questions that business premises of a cyber cafe opens at 2 p.m. and closes at 2 a.m. Can IT authority enter at 1 a.m.? Of course, they can enter. They can definitely enter. Why? Because business hours are still prevailing. Do they require any prior approval before entering? Sir, 133, just they are coming to collect the information now, so no prior approval is required. Can they impound books of accounts? Can they take away your books of accounts? No, they cannot take away books of accounts. Sir, these differences, these things are to be learned. 133B, they cannot take books of accounts. They don't require prior approval. They can only come during business hours. That's it. Sir, come on to section 133A, which talks about survey. IT authority coming to find out whether your books correspond to your actual figures or not, whether the stock you show is actually appearing in the physicality or not. They are coming just to ensure that. When can they enter your business premises? Sir, they can enter at the business premises during business hours. But if they want to conduct survey at any other place, for example, your home, your factory, or any other place which is not your business premise, they can only come after sunrise, before sunset. That means till the time you can see the sun, they'll only come at that time. Till the time you can see sun, they can only come at that time. It is after sunrise, before sunset, they have to enter. Now, but for survey, we require approval. Whenever any IT authority wants to do survey, they require approval of DGIT or CCIT. Remember, DGIT, CCIT, below which they cannot do. Now, even if you have not liked the video till now, you have to like the video. Remember, what are the powers do they have during the survey? Understand. With respect to books of accounts, they have basically two powers. First of all, they can check your books of accounts. In addition to that, they can impound your books of accounts as well. With respect to any cash, jewelry, other valuable articles, they can check them. They can make inventory, that means they can make down the list of it, and they can even place identification marks on those assets as well. In addition to that, they can even record your statement. Remember, recording statement is a big power that they have. Can they extend their survey? That means all of a sudden they found out that your books are kept at Alibag, your books are kept at Goa. Can they extend that place? Yes, they can also cover such place under survey. Remember, can they conduct survey at your ceremony? For example, I am getting married. Can they come and survey my premises? Right answer is no. Only they can survey my premises only if it is concluded. Before conclusion, they cannot survey my wedding ceremony. Done, sir. Done, sir. Come on to next section, which is 133.8.2a, which is. Arey Baba, try to speak after me now. Try to speak after me, sir. TDS thesis survey. When can they do TDS thesis survey? Just to find out the TDS corrections or not. Whether you have deducted TDS properly or not, they just want to check that. When can they enter your business premises? Understand, here people they tend to get confused. They can only enter after sunrise and before sunset. Only after sunrise and before sunset they can enter. Beyond that, they cannot enter. See, every other place you have business hours. Here you have just sunrise and sunset. So this is an important factor. You cannot skip this out. For whose approval is required before survey? Sir, again the DGIT and CCIT. Can they check your books of accounts? Of course. Can they impound during tedious survey? They cannot impound your books of accounts. Remember, they cannot impound cash, jewelry, other valuable articles. What can they do? Can they check? Yes. Can they inspect? Yes. Can they prepare a statement of that? No, they cannot prepare a statement. Can they record your statement? Yes, they can record your statement. No extension, no ceremony and all. Why they would come to your ceremony just to check out the EDS? Done, sir, got that point. Now, we have a search. Remember, remember, remember. Relax, 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 please. Sir, can at what is the time limit at which they can come to your premise for the search? There is no time limit prescribed. From whom they require prior approval? Normally, search is authorized by commissioner or director, commissioner of income tax or director of income tax. Can a lower authority authorize search? Can a joint commissioner authorize search? Of course, joint can authorize or joint commissioner can authorize search only if he is empowered by CBDT. Done, sir. What are the powers they have during the search? Remember, they can enter any premises. Your home, your house, your car, your vessel, any premises they can enter. They can break any locks. They can, if electronic documents are kept, they can ask password for that. If you are at any, if they search any place, now they can search any place, they can search any person, they can search any object. For example, you have sofas, they can tear them down. Can they seize any asset? Yes, of course they can seize any asset. Can they require the help of police officer? Yes, they can require help of police officer, but only with approval of CIT only they can get the approval of the police officer. Now what happens, there are certain things which they cannot seize. For example, they can take away my calculator, they can take away my jewelry, they can take away my books, but they cannot take away my house. So for that matter, what they would do, they would do a provisional seizure. They would do a deemed seizure, prohibitory order. They would pass a prohibitory order, and that would be valid for 6 months. Beyond that, if they want to extend, they can extend it for 6 months. Beyond that 2 months, they will be beyond that 60 days, they can extend for 6 months. That's it. But for that matter, they need reasons. Now, whenever they take away your books assets, you can take away your books after completion of assessment within 30 days. For explained assets, you can take away explained assets any point of time. For unexplained assets, you can take away unexplained assets only after the completion of assessment. See, there we have a time limit. For explained assets, you can request within 30 days and they will give you within 120 days from the completion of search. If you remember, okay. If you don't remember, that's absolutely okay. Now, if they are not able to give you explained assets within 120 days, now you will get 1.5% interest per month till the completion of the assessment. That's okay. That's okay. That's it. This last question, if you are not able to recall now, that's okay. Absolutely okay. Now remember, there are four presumptions during a search. First of all, whatever assets that are found are yours. Whatever assets that are found are yours. Then whatever written in those books are absolutely true. Then whatever is written by you, and whatever is being signed either in your presence or has been signed by you. These are the four things that to be taken care of. Then remember what happens, sir. When a search can be authorized, remember there cannot be without any reason search cannot be taken place. When there was a notice under section 142(1), that means inquiry before assessment, there was someone under 131 and you did not present, you did not respond. In that case, search can take place. Second case, when search can take place, understand, sir, department thinks that it is going to issue 142(1) notice and 131 summon, and you are not going to respond, they will do the search. In addition to that, sir, if they have any asset, if they find out that you have any asset income, or you have incurred any expenditure for which source of income is not known to department, they can continue, they can do the search. There are three reasons for search. Now, what is important in this case, understand. For example, search took place at my premises. Do I have right to know for what reason search has taken place? I don't have a right. Can I ask CIT appeals to request department to tell me the reason for what reason search has taken place? CIT appeals doesn't even have that power. Can ITAT request department? Even ITAT cannot request department. Can High Court request department? Sir, High Court can request to department. High Court can only request department to tell what was the reason of the search. That's the only thing you need to remember. Now, come on to assessment provisions. These are the basic preliminary things that should be aware of. First of all, first type of assessment is 143(1), that is processing of return. It is also called intimation. It is also called it is also called summary assessment. Okay, now in that case, it is just a computer based. When it is done, sir, whenever you file the ROI, let that year end. Within 9 months from the end of the year of ROI, you get the answer. 143.3, what is it about? It is scrutiny assessment. It is also called regular assessment. Whenever you file return, you can have scrutiny assessment. If you don't even file the return, no scrutiny assessment. Now, when scrutiny assessment is normally done by AO. Now, when scrutiny assessment take place, understand, Notice for scrutiny can be issued within 3 months from the end of the year of ROI. The year in which you file the ROI, let that year end, and within 3 months from that end, you can have notice of scrutiny. Beyond that, it is invalid. And when can order be passed? Order can be passed within 12 months from the end of the assessment year. So let you file the ROI in 25-26, then within 3 months, notice can be issued. Within 12 months, order will be issued. Within end of that financial year, notice will be issued within 3 months and order will be passed in 12 months. Can you say 3 months, 12 months, 3 months, 12 months? That's it. That's the only thing you need to understand about scrutiny assessment. In addition to that, there was a single point that you must be aware of. If you are not issued any notice to scrutiny, if you are not issued any notice to scrutiny, assessment is invalid. Literally, assessment is invalid if you are not issued any scrutiny notice. What this notice is very important for doing the scrutiny. Now, for best judgment assessment 144C, best judgment assessment are of four types. First of all, understand best judgment assessment can take place in four situations. We will again refer this. First of all, when you did not respond to, when you did not file return under 131 or 4, when you were issued notice under 142(1) and you did not respond, when when special audit was ordered against you and you did not cooperate it, or you were issued notice to scrutiny and you did not respond, in all the four cases, best judgment and assessment under section 144 would take place against you. In that case, you are required to, I mean, the department is required to issue a show cause notice as to why they are doing this assessment against you. They are required to tell you why they are going to do best judgment assessment against you. They are required to tell you. But sir, remember, under 143, 142(1), in this case, in case of inquiry before assessment, no show cause notice is issued. In every case, you will receive a show cause notice, but under this case, you will not receive any show cause notice. Done, sir. Now, for issuing notice, there is no time limit prescribed, but for passing the order, 12 months have been prescribed. So, of course, it is fast, but of course, it is making a lot of sense now doing this fast. Only thing that I'm telling you is relevant. Apart from that, you can skip out the remaining. Now, income escaping assessment. See, department already knows you are a defaulter. It is only done by joint commissioner, assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner. When a notice can be issued, it can be issued within the time limit 3 years, 3.3 years, 5 years, 5.3 years, and assessment has to be completed within 1 year from the end of financial year in which 148 has been issued. So 1 year from the end of the financial year in which 148 is issued. Done. Then we have block assessment. Block assessment take place in case of search cases, in case of requisition cases, in case of other party search cases. Now, what is other party search? Understand. See, for example, one of my friend's premise is under search and my documents have been found at his premise. Now, in that case, block assessment would take place against me. Again, it is done for 6 years and order is passed within 1 year. This is the basic premise. Now coming on six. Now coming on to the chapter. Do I need to learn this IT authorities? You can absolutely skip it down. Absolutely, yes, you can skip it down. Powers of CBDT. I personally think that question has not been asked from this topic. It can be asked. Now, what are the powers of CBDT? First of all, CBDT can issue circulars to IT authority. Circulars as to there is doubt as to which section would prevail. See, you are already aware 194Q versus 206C 1H. Both shall apply. Then in that case, which would prevail? You are aware that 194Q would prevail. Now, who tells this? It is told by CBDT only via circulars, instructions. CBDT can even extend the due dates of tax audit. It can extend the due dates of income tax returns. And CBDT can even pass general order, special order to admit, claim any kind of loss in case of genuine hardships. Done, sir. What CBDT cannot do? CBDT cannot interfere in appellate proceedings. Understand this thing, what I'm saying. If IT authority is doing something, if income tax appellate authority is doing something, can CBDT interfere? No, sir, it cannot interfere. CBDT cannot tell IT authority to do specific assessment in a specific manner. Done, sir. And CBDT cannot amend the legislative provisions. Sir, very simple points these are. Do I need to learn anything? See, all these three powers we have already discussed. Power to survey we have already discussed. Power to TDS thesis survey we have already discussed. Search we have already discussed. Presumptions under search. All these things have already been discussed by us. Now we have return filing. This is all about your income tax authorities. Only thing you need to know about these income tax authorities was already discussed. Now come on to next point, which is return filing. Important factor as to who is required to file return. Important point is this only, who is required to file return. Why this is important? Because I personally think this has not been tested. Understand, a company partnership of LLP is always mandatory required to file return. If you are not a company partnership of LLP, then in that case you have to check whether your gross total income is exceeding basic exemption limit or not. What do I mean? See, for example, if your GTI is 10 lakh rupees, you have to file return. If your GTI is 2 lakh rupees, you don't have to file return. Sir, remember, whenever you take the gross total income, now you have to exclude the exemption under Section 54. What does that mean? See, if your, for example, income was 10 lakh rupees, you got Section 54 exemption of 9 lakh. Now your GTI is 1 lakh rupees. In this case, even if your GTI is below basic exemption limit, but before Section 54 exemption, it was exceeding basic exemption limit, so you have to file return in this case. Done, sir. If you have any foreign assets, if you have any foreign shares, if you have any bank account in foreign, then you are mandatorily required to file return irrespective of your turnover income. Then apart from all the above, you are not a company, your income is below basic exemption limit, you don't have any foreign assets, foreign assets, still you would be required to file return if you deposit more than 1 crore in your current account. More than 1 crore deposited, mandatorily file return. 50 lakhs or more in your savings account, you have to file return. If you did travel expenditure of more than 2 lakh rupees in a financial year, you have to file a return. If you have spent more than 1 lakh rupees in your electricity bill, you have to mandatorily file return. If your business turnover exceeds 60 lakh rupees, you have to mandatorily file the return. If your professional receipts exceed 10 lakh rupees, you have to mandatorily file the return. In addition to that, if your TDS deducted or TCS collected has been more than 25,000, you have to mandatorily file the return. And if you are a senior citizen, in that limit would turn out to be 50,000 rupees. Done, sir. Due date for filing return under 139(1). What does that say? You don't need to learn this, you can skip the notes. So loss return, see, normally whenever you want to carry forward your business losses, capital gain losses, or any losses from the horse races or maintenance, any losses from horse races or uh, horse races, yes, these three losses can be only carried forward if you file return on time, then only you can carry forward. But sir, if I was genuine, I had a reason, I have an actual reason as to why did I do the delay, I have an actual reason that can just be condoned. Yes, it can be condoned by the specific authority, and this is important. Now, where you can go for condonation, if your losses is up to 1 crore rupees, then you can go to CIT, PCIT. If your losses are more than 1 crore up to 3 crore, then CCIT. If your losses are more than 3 crore, then PCCIT you have to visit. Done, sir. They will, you can request for condonation within 5 years. As soon as assessment year ended, it you can take 5 years and you can get the condonation of the losses. Done, sir. Now, delayed return, I personally think you can skip out. Revise return. See, revise return. One thing, there was a point. What has been asked? What is normally asked? You need to understand. See, I want to revise my return. Okay. Can I go to assessing officer and just submit a statement of income that, sir, this is my revised income, this is my revised income? Can I do that? Can I simply just submit a statement and get my return revised, sir? No, I cannot do that. I have to simply file revised return under 139(5), then only it will be revised. That's all. Can I claim a fresh claim in revised return? Yes, only if you have any special deduction, if you have other deduction, if you have any exemption, if you have any other deduction, chapter 6 say, you can only claim in revised return. You cannot claim in any other return. Can you claim in updated return? No, sir, you cannot claim. Can you claim this additional claims in 142(1)? No, sir. Under 148? No, sir. Can at the time of assessment? No, sir. You can only claim fresh claims at the time of revised or at the time of appeals. That's it. Done, sir. Trust, you need not to learn. Now, defective return. Sir, you have to rectify defects within 15 days. Otherwise, your return would be void ab initio. You need to remember these things. Now, Aadhaar number. See, what a PAN number I don't think is not. I don't think it is relevant, but Aadhaar number is relevant. Now, what is relevant? Understand. See, earlier you can quote your Aadhaar number as well and Aadhaar enrollment ID as well. You were required enrollment ID as well. You can even quote that interchangeably. You can quote either of them. Now, up with effect from 1st October 2024. You cannot quote enrollment ID. Enrollment ID has been stopped. You cannot quote. If wherever you are required to quote Aadhaar, you have to quote Aadhaar number only. That's it. But what if you have already quoted enrollment ID? Then what would do? Sir, the time limit has been given 31st December 2025 that you have to update your Aadhaar number in the place of enrollment ID. You have to do this. Done, sir. What else you need to understand, sir? Updated return. See, for previous year 24-25, assessment year 25-26. You can file an updated return with effect from 1st April 2026. That means as soon as your assessment year ends, you can file an updated return. Within 24 months, that means up to 31st March 2028, you can file updated return. That means 1 year you have and second year you have, you can file updated return. That is not the case. Important thing here is, when can you not file updated return? When can you not file? What are the cases? First of all, if you have a return of loss, you cannot file. If your return results in decreasing the tax liability or increasing the refund, can you file? No, sir, you cannot file. If search has been taken place on your premises, if you are under if survey has been done at your premises or any requisition has been done, can you file updated return? No sir, you cannot file updated return. Understand this thing. Where already updated return has been filed, can you revise it? Sir, you cannot revise it. If there is already a pending assessment reassessment against you, you cannot file updated return. If you have been found under having possessions, having assets under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, that means you have some tainted money, you have some black money, you are under Foreign Exchange Manipulator Act, and you have been communicated, and then you cannot file updated return. Remember, if your information has been given to the government, government has got some information against you under section 1990, can you file updated return? No, you cannot file updated return. Apart from that, if any prosecution proceedings under income tax has been initiated, now you cannot file updated return. Remember, earlier if you filed the return of income, if you had filed return of income and it was loss return, later on you revised it, then in that case, whatever loss you have set off against the next year now, in that case you have to revise your return for next year as well. You have to file updated return for subsequent years as well. What I'm saying is, for example, for previous year 2023, you have claimed a loss of 5 lakh rupees and you set off this loss in the for the next year. That means in 23-24 you set off this loss. In that case, if you revise this income, for example, earlier you had a loss of 5 lakh, now you want to declare income of 10 lakh rupees. So whatever loss set off you have already done now, remember, loss set off that you have already done has to be reversed. In that case, you have to file an updated return for next year's as well. That's it, sir. That's it. Updated, I personally think taxes won't be asked. But if you want to file updated in first year after assessment year, then 25% of additional taxes are required. If you want to file updated in second year, then in that case, what are the taxes required? I guess it is what I guess it is 50% only. I am not guessing it. It is 50% only. Now one important, very important thing. Even if you have not liked the video and you have not subscribed to the channel, मैं बता रहा हूँ, I am telling, Madharan is not going to bless you. Adnan is not going to bless you. You are not liking the video. Okay, sir. Overacting done. Overacting done. Now, on what amount taxes have been charged? Remember, taxes plus surcharge plus education cess plus whatever the interest has been calculated on this amount, 25% or 50% would be charged. Remember, 25%, 50% would on this would be charged. Done, sir. Done, 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 sir. Absolutely got it, sir. Now, whether interest is being charged on fees, or sorry, whether additional tax is being charged on late fees, no, sir, it is not charged. Now, inquiry before assessment. What is inquiry before assessment? Understand this thing. See, whenever assessment is going to be initiated against you, an inquiry before assessment is sent to you. If you have not filed return of income, you will be asked to file return of income by ITO. You have to file that return. If assessment is being done, you have already filed return, assessing officer can ask you to produce books of accounts. Now, for whatever year he wants, he is doing assessment. Now, he can ask books of accounts for that year. In addition to that, preceding 3 previous year, he can ask books of accounts. If he wants to ask details of any assets, liabilities, or any other thing, can he ask? Yes, he can definitely ask. Remember, apart from that, can he ask something beyond books of accounts? That means if you have any assets which is not mentioned in books of accounts, can he ask that? Sir, he can ask, but only if prior approval of joint commissioner is being given, then only he can ask. Special audit already asked multiple times, but I can still doubt about ICI. It can ask it again. Remember, if AO thinks that whatever books of accounts are you, whatever books of accounts you have submitted to AO is very complex, he can request bigger people, CIT, PCIT, get your books of accounts audited. He can. He can request for a special audit by CA. He can even request for inventory valuation by CMA. Understand this thing. Directions can be issued with prior approval of CCITC. Whatever audit is being done or not, that will be decided by CIT, PCIT only. Chartered accountant will be recommended by nominated by CIT, PCIT only. But remuneration would be paid by central government. How much remuneration would be paid? 3,750 rupees to 7,500 rupees per hour. This is the amount of remuneration. Chartered accountant has to submit report within 180 days maximum. Beyond that, he will not be allowed. In addition to that, whatever the order is going to be passed now will be firstly told to assessee, and in beyond that order will be passed. But sir, if assessee fails to get books of accounts audited, he will be subject to best judgment assessment and 140 will be subject to best judgment assessment. There is a case law. There was a question in exam. Now, what was there in that question? Understand. For example, assessee is nominated for special audit. For example, Rahul is the one. I have been ordered a special audit. I am willing to get my books of accounts audited. But this chartered accountant is not willing to audit. I am willing to get audit done. The chartered accountant is not auditing. Yeah, what do I do in that case? If I'm willing to get myself audited and the chartered accountant is not auditing, then what should I do? Is it my fault? An assessing officer did best judgment against. Assessing officer did best judgment assessment against. I'm willing to get audited. I'm willing to get audited, but chartered accountant is not doing. Is it valid, sir? It is absolutely invalid. I am not subject to any best judgment assessment if I am willing to get audited, but CA is not auditing. Done, sir. Valuation officer not relevant. 143 1 we have already discussed. 143 2 143 143 to 143 3 we have done. Best judgment assessment we have already done. Remember, there are three more reasons for best judgment assessment. If you are not following proper books of accounts, that means you are someday you are following cash system, the other day you are following mercantile system, you are not following ICDS, AO is not satisfied with the correctness of the books. In that case, what would happen? You would be liable for discretionary best judgment assessment. 144C, what is about? See, whenever you are a non-resident or you are a foreign company or your order has been decided with reference to TPO, in that case, a draft order is sent to you. You have to either accept that, you can either accept that. See, whenever you accept this draft order, now this draft order would become the final order. That's it. The draft order become final order. Can you ignore that draft order? Yes, of course you can ignore that. In that case, again, draft order would become final order. But in this case, you can appeal it to CIT appeals. Done, sir. But sir, can you object? Yes, sir. Of course, you can object to. You can object. Where can you object? You can object to dispute resolution panel. Whenever you will object to dispute resolution panel would give the guidelines. Within 9 months, it would get guidelines to AO as to how to do the assessment. And within one month, the AO has to pass the final order based on the above guidelines. What if assessee is not satisfied with DRP guidelines? What if assessee is not satisfied with DRP guidelines? So he can go to IT80 for appeals. He can go to only IT80 to appeals. Noted, sir. No issue. What if assessing officer is not able to? What if assessing officer is not able to pass order within 1 month? Then what would happen? If assessing officer is not able to pass order within 1 month, it is invalid assessment. It is invalid assessment. Assessment shall only be invalid. And last thing, remember, nothing in this section shall apply to search, survey, search, requisition, and any kind of other party search. For example, search has been taken place against me, then in that case, no draft order would be given to me. Now, we have income escaping assessments. Income escaping assessment is a big topic. I'm just referring you certain things that you need to refer. I'm just giving you the sharing you the board notes excerpt. You don't need to refer this at all. Whatever I'm saying now, you don't even have to read it once. You just have to listen and move forward. Now, whenever there happens a income escaping assessment or reassessment, there are three steps to be followed. First of all, there is show cause notice, there is notice, and there is order. You can even skip that topic down. You can even skip this topic. If you are not comfortable with this topic, you can skip. I'm comfortably saying you can skip. But still, I personally think that this is an area that department can ask and ICA can ask. You just listen to it. Department has to follow three-step process. First of all, department would issue a show cause notice under 148A. Then department would issue show notice and department would issue order. Three things: show cause notice, notice and order. Show cause notice, notice and order. Show cause notice is 148A, notice is 148, and order is 147. Understand now. Whenever it wanted to issue any show cause notice, then it has to conduct the inquiries and inquiries and it shall issue a show cause notice to Rahul. Of course, it is issue a show cause notice. Rahul has to reply. If Rahul did not reply, department will continue with next process. If Rahul has replied but he has done vague reply, unsatisfactory reply, then there would be an order against me that my case has been selected for income escaping assessment. Remember, whenever department wants to issue any order under 148 against that show cause notice, it requires a prior approval of joint commissioner. Without joint commissioner approval, department cannot pass an order under 148A. Once 148A is issued, AO requires information. From where AO can have information? AO can have information from court, from tribunal. AO can have information from risk management strategy of CBDT. AO can have information from DTAA that in other country might tell about Rahul. Or AO can have information from audit objection. AO can have information via faceless collection of information. AO can have information from survey. These are the six sources through which AO can have information. Once AO has information, he will issue us the notice under section 148. First of all, show cause notice was issued, now notice is issued. In addition to that, we have to file a ROI. If we have already filed ROI, again we have to file. Within 3 months from the end of the notice, we would file the ROI. Then give and take relation would take place, and at last 147 order would be passed against us. Now, remember, what is the time limit? See, 130 for 135A, none show cause notice is not sent. That is the bottom line. For 135A, show cause notice is not sent. Done, sir. When can an income escaping assessment be taken place against me? What is the time limit for the notice and show cause notice? Understand. If your income escaped is less than 50 lakh rupees, then what would happen? See, show cause notice can be issued within 3 months from the end of the relevant assessment year, but notice has to be issued within 3.3 years. So, notice, show cause notice in 3 years, show cause notice in 3 years, and notice under a notice within 3.3 years. If income is 50 lakh or more, then show cause notice will be issued within 5 years from the relevant assessment year and end of the relevant assessment year. Notice shall be issued within 5.3 years. Remember, notice show cause notice 3 years, notice 3.3 years for income escape lesser than 50 lakh. If income escaped more than 50 lakh rupees or 50 lakh rupees, then 5 years or 5.3. Remember, bottom line, sir, whenever any income escaping assessment is initiated against you, you have to check the date of the notice. And if that date of notice is completed from the end of the financial year of date of notice, you will get 1 year. AO will get 1 year to complete the income escaping assessment. 1 year from the end of the financial year of the order. That is the entire income escaping assessment. Done, sir. Who will do income escaping assessment? Sorry, who will give approval for income escaping assessment? We have already told you. When can income escaping assessment be done? Yes, sir. We have already discussed. See, whenever AO is passing any order, whenever AO has issued notice and order is to be passed. In between this period, if AO finds out any something, if AO has to refer the case to valuation officer, if AO has to refer the case to advanced ruling. For example, AO has to refer the case to DTAA. For example, other country references to be made. For example, a court stay has been done. So in that case, whatever the time has been wasted now, that will be given extra to AO. This time would be given extra to AO. Absolutely extra would be given. And even if time is lesser than 60 days, now AO would get minimum 60 days. You need to learn this. No, sir. This is the last thing. If you want to skip the outs, you can skip that point. Absolutely. Rectification. What is rectification? Understand. For example, if there is an order passed and there is mistake apparent from record. For example, if by mistake 2 plus 2 has been written as 5. Can I say this is a mistake apparent from record? Yes, it is a mistake that anybody can, through naked eye, can see it is wrong. It is undisputed, undebated topic. It is absolutely clear that something wrong is done. So in that case, now you can even seek rectification. Department can do rectification of their own. Now, remember, if you yourself do the rectification now, you can if department itself does the rectification, then it can rectify within 4 years from the end of the year in which order containing mistake is passed. And if SSC does the application, again SSC can do within 4 years. Department has to rectify within 6 months, or if it is for the benefit of the SSC, then department will get 4 years. For example, if we requested rectification and department again did the wrong order, then again 4 years would be given to us for that rectified mistake. For that mistake, we will get another 4 years. Important section, demand notice, sir. Whenever any order is passed against us for which we are likely to pay the demand, in that case, we have to pay the demand within 30 days from the demand order. Now, what would happen after 30 days? The recovery proceedings can be initiated against us. That's the bottom line. Now, of course, for example, against Rahul, demand is outstanding, say 5 lakh rupees, and this demand is outstanding since 2002. Demand notice was issued to me by the department, but I did never receive it. I never received. What would happen if I have never received the demand notice? What would happen? I would never pay the demand. But since it has been since 2002, it is 2026. Now, in 24 years, on this 5 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees interest has been accumulated. On 50 lakh interest has been accumulated. Can I request a waiver of this interest? Yes, you can request. Just you have to go to assessing officer. Cry out loud, cry out loud. Where you have to go? You have to go to commissioner or principal commissioner up to 50 lakh of interest. If your interest is more than 50 lakh up to 1.5 crore, you have to go to CCIT. And if your interest is more than 1.5 crore, you have to go to PCCIT. You have to go to these authorities and they would condone you. Wow, they would condone you. Wow, sir, they would condone your interest. Now, for example, a notice has been issued against me in which instead of Rahul, RHUL is written, A is missing out. And I'm arguing it is invalid notice. Whether it is invalid news. Instead of my address, something wrong is mentioned. Instead of my PAN, some wrong PAN is mentioned. Some minor clerical mistake is there. Can this invalidate the notice? No, sir, it is never invalidated. Whenever there are clerical errors, now it is absolutely valid. In addition to that, sir, for example, important point, understand this very carefully. This is a very important point. For example, a notice has been issued. If a notice has been issued to you on for which date was 30th June 2025 and it was issued to you on for example 7th July, notice was issued late. You were issued notice late. Whether it is invalid or valid, sir, by default it is invalid. It is absolutely invalid by default. But what if you cooperate? Then in that case, it would become valid. Sir, do I have any option to get rescued? Yes. If you cooperate and it became valid, now you have an option to object. If you object before assessment order, now it would again become invalid. But if you did not object, then it would be. That means even if you respond, it would become valid. But you have an option to object. Now, what it said. There are two exceptions. Remember, first of all, there was a person called Rahul Private Limited. In 2022, Rahul amalgamated with Pinky. That means now they became Rahul Pinky Private Limited. This is a new company formed. Now, whenever amalgamation take place, it is told to department that amalgamation has been done. In that case, now department wanted to issue a notice for on this Rahul Pinky, but it issued notice for Rahul Pinky Private Limited. This is already dead company, which is already closed. Whether it is valid notice, sir, it is not valid. Normally, small clerical errors are okay, but you are issuing notice to a non-existent amalgamated company. Then it is not absolutely invalid in that. Got it, sir. This was said in case of Maruti Suzuki India case law by Supreme Court in 2009. Sir, can department do assessment of scrutiny without issuing notice? Sir, it is absolutely invalid. See, clerical mistakes are okay. These are the curable defects. Not issuing notice is not a curable defect. I got this point out. Do we need to do this faceless assessment? No, you don't need to do. Now come on to last topic, that is block assessment. Now, for that matter, you need to understand one thing. Block assessment take place in case of search, requisition, and other parties. Now, first of all, we need to understand what is block period. See, for example, on 1st December 2024, search took place at my premises, and on 10th December, search was concluded. Now, when do we assume that search is concluded, sir? Whenever the Panchnama is drawn, then we assume that search is concluded. Now, for this period, what is the block period? Previous year 24-25. Right away, starting from 1st April till 10th, till the conclusion of the search is the hour block period. In addition to that, preceding 6 previous year, that means previous year 23-24, 22-23, 21-22, 20-21, 18-19-20, and 18-19. These are the 6 years. These are the 6 years in addition to that. These are 6 years in addition to that. This small period of the year of search, all these 6 years plus 8 months cumulatively block period. Now your assessment is going to take place for this block period. Got it, sir. Department is going to tax your undisclosed income. Department looks with the laser eyes and tries to tax your undisclosed income. It tries to find out your undisclosed income and is going to tax you. Now remember, for any of the year, it might be possible that any assessment is already pending. That means assessment is not completed. It is pending. It is pending. It is possible. Now, income escaping assessment take longer time, so it is pending. What would happen if block assessment is initiated? Remember, whenever block assessment is initiated, now the other assessments shall abate. Abate means they will lose their value. Assessing officer will stop these assessment and will focus on block assessment. That's it. For example, an order was passed. Assessment order was passed for this block assessment. Assessment order was passed on this block assessment. Now, what would happen in this case? Remember, whenever an assessment order is passed in case of block assessment, now, it can be challenged at CIT appeals. Now, for example, SSC challenged this order and CIT assess appeals quashed down. That means rejected this order. CIT said, Arey Baba, what a bad assessment you have done. Chi. Department does this thing and quash this assessment. Then in that case, what would happen? The erstwhile abated assessment shall revive. Abated assessment, which had already lost its value, now shall revive. Now what happened? Department would go to ITAT for this, and ITAT again re-energizes, rejuvenates this original block assessment. Then again it will lose its value. So ultimate bottom line is if you are going under block assessment now, then every other assessment will stop. If your block assessment is set aside, your pending assessment shall again revive. Again, if your block assessment is initiated, these assessment will lose their value. That is the bottom line. Now, Whenever there is a pending appeal going on or any revision under 263 or 264 going on, then in that case they shall not abate. Remember, appeals and revisions do not abate. For example, your block assessment was going for this year. Now, in that case, in a subsequent year, for example, first one 2025, another search took place at your premises. Now, in that case, what would happen? First of all, your first procedure would complete, and in that after that, second procedure would take place. Done, sir. These are the basics you need to understand before block period. Now, what is the procedure? Remember, whenever search take place at your premises, they take away your books of accounts, they take away all of your assets, they take away everything. Now, they give you an opportunity to declare everything with good faith, and they give you an option to file return under section 158 BC. You have an option to file return of income in 158, for which you have to file also within 60 days. Even if you have already filed now, you have to file this return. You can even increase your income, you can additionally pay income, you can additionally declare income in this return. Now, 60 days you are given the time. If you did not, if you did file return within 60 days, if you did file return in 60 days, it is a valid return under 139. Under 139, it is considered as a valid return. But sir, if you file return the late one, it is up to department whether it wants to accept it or not. It is absolutely up to department. You late return from 61st day till conclusion of assessment, they are going to charge you 1.5% per month, and part of the month as interest they are going to charge you if you delay even for 1 day after 6. Once you file the return of income, you cannot revise it. You cannot revise it. Revision is not possible. Will you get any intimation under 143.1? No, sir, no intimation is given. Will you get a notice for 148? No, sir, notice is not given to you. Nothing is given to you. Now understand what the case is. Department has your assets, has your books, has everything of yours. Even department has your income declared by everything department has. Now department will gather the information and pass an assessing order. Pass an assessment order. Now who shall pass the order? Understand. Remember, assessment order can be passed by joint commissioner, joint director. They can pass the order without an issue. Can assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner, assistant director, deputy director, can they pass the order? Yes, they can pass the order, but only with prior approval of joint commissioner and joint director. Can ITO pass the order? No, sir, ITO cannot pass the order. Or remember, whenever whatever the block period is, understand, whatever the income that has been calculated for this block period now, in this income, 60% tax would be charged. 60% tax is the flat charge. If any of the six previous years, in any of the six previous years, any international transaction is found, can this the case be referred to TPO? Yes, case can be referred to TPO. But can the case be referred to TPO for this previous year? No, sir, because the return of this year is all yet to be filed now. This will be filed in next year. So why can we refer? How can we refer the case to TPO right now? So we will not refer the case to TPO. If any undisclosed income is found in this year, again this would not be taxed. Of course, this income would be taxed which is found for six previous year. Done, sir. If you have any loss in current year, can we set off this loss against this block income? No, sir, you cannot set off. If you have any prior period loss, can you set off this loss against this block period income? No, sir, it cannot be set off. It can be still carry forward if time is allowed, but you cannot set off this further. That's it. If you are a partnership firm who is under assessment, remember, whatever the non-working partners are, whatever the interest remuneration you have paid to such non-working partners shall be disallowed before considering the block period income. That's this is also understood. Now, whatever the income that have been computed, say for example 5 crore, you will be charged 60% taxes on that. In addition to that, you will be charged 50% penalty. Remember, on what amount penalty would be charged? As well, understand. See, if you have declared some income in 158 BC now, then ROI, then on such income you will not be charged penalty. Only 60% taxes, but no penalty. But if you did not declare and still department find out your income, in that case 60% taxes plus 50% penalty. In this case also, even if penalty would be immune to you only if you have furnished return on time, you have paid taxes, you did not go to appeal, then only this immunity is given to you. That means 50% penalty would be applicable if you did not even furnish a return as well. This 150 BC return you did not furnish, then 50% penalty. But if you furnish, then no penalty is applicable on that. So there is a split. If some income has been furnished, on that income 60% taxes, no penalty. If income has not been funded, 60% taxes plus 50% penalty. 50% of the taxes, of course. 50% of the taxes is the amount of penalty. Do we are we left with anything else? I don't think there is much to be got. Yes, 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 yes. Whenever search is completed, now whenever search is completed, assessing officer is required to file the final order. He has to file the final order. He has to pass the final order within 12 months from the end of the month of the conclusion of search. As soon as search is concluded within that end of the month, within 12 months, he has to pass the final order. That's it. No interest under 234 ABC would be charged. No penalty of misreporting, underreporting would be charged. And the same case would apply for other party search as well. That means if search has been taken place at other premises, then other person's premises and your documents are found, your premises will also suffer the same thing. Got it, sir. Got it. Got it. Got it, sir. There are two case laws relating to relating to assessment. First, we have already discussed now what this case law was. In case of DRP, if you remember, now draft order is given to assessee. Assessee can object to DRP. Now, DRP issues guidelines within 9 months, and AO has to pass within 1 month from the end of the month of receiving the guidelines. If AO fails to pass order within 1 month, then what would do? It is an invalid assessment, and this was said in case of IBS Softwares Private Limited versus Union of India in Kerala High Court. There was another case law. Now, understand what this issue is. See, assessee filed return of income on 25th March. 25th March 2025, he filed the return. And it contains certain defects for which he corrected this return on 10th April 2025. 25. Okay. Now, when can a scrutiny notice should be issued? So, scrutiny notice has to be issued within 3 months from the end of the financial year in which you filed the ROI. So, ideally, scrutiny notice should be issued up to 30th June 2025. But department argues since he has corrected the return on 10th April now. So, 30th June 2026 should be given as scrutiny notice date. Who is correct? SSC or department? Of course, in this case, SSC is correct. Why SSC is correct? Simple reason being the actually return file was this date only. Defect correction is just a formality. It is an add-on, but original return is this date only. So original date shall be considered for the purpose of finding out the actual due dates. Now there was a small amendment. There was small, not just amendment, but there was a small question in case of appeals. Let me tell you, there was one adjustment that you must remember. This question was asked in September attempt as well. See, for example, for previous year 20 to 23, if department wants to do a revision, I'm just saying, see, don't argue on the actual dates. I'm just saying department wants to do a revision under section 263. And last day for issuing notice is 31st March 2025. Now, CIT passed a notice of revision on 25th March and given this notice to AO. Now, AO has to give this notice as well. And in addition to that, he has to submit a notice to notice under section 142.1. AO issued notice under section 142.1 on 15th May 2025. SSC received it late. SSC is arguing that he has received it late. He has received this notice late. Now, since SSC says that this revision is time barred because time limit has lapsed. Department or CIT issued notice on time, but SSC received it late because of AO. Sir, who is wrong in this case? In this case, actually, nobody is wrong. SSC has to undergo revision because it was issued well on time. Even though it was presented to you late, that is different thing. But serving has to be done on time. That is the real intention of the provision. Therefore, if serving has been done on time, that means this revision is absolutely valid. So this was all about your income escaping assessment as well. I hope you were able to take too much of information from this video, and I hope this video was value adding for you. Even if you have not liked the video till now, why are you not liking? Why are you not liking? You want me to cry? You want me to cry? No, sir, we don't want you to. You just need to. You should be appreciated. I am taking the appreciation from your behalf. If you like the video, if you really liked the video, do consider liking, do consider subscribing, do consider sharing the video. It doesn't take any effort to share. Require anything from my end, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to make videos on that topic as well. So all the best, very best, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Take care. Enjoy studying.